Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is your first photo news fix of 2019. This fix is brought to you by the Tamron 70-200 2.8 G2 lens that I'm giving away. That's right, Tamron gave me a 70-200 2.8 G2 to give away to one of you. There's no purchase necessary, but if you already own or buy FroPack 1 during the giveaway, you'll get an extra 30 entries added on the back end. So for more information and to check out the video where I tell you exactly what to do, head on over to FroKnowsPhoto.com/I1G2. First up, Hunt's camera in Boston was broken into and $50,000 worth of camera gear was stolen in only 53 seconds. Wait a minute, was this supermarket sweep?
She has something on her mind.
Hey Dan, go ahead and roll that security footage. So the first thing we see is a guy run in with an axe. Now, he definitely never played baseball because he swings like, well, a little sissy. Next, a bunch of tote-carrying guys swarm the store, and at that point, one of the morons decides to jump on top of the case to get to the good stuff, which is up above, but guess what? He falls through. Now, can somebody please explain to this guy how glass cases work? Finally, we see them dragging the totes out the door, and the one thing you will notice when the camera zooms in close, because Steven, enhance. Dan, enhance also.
Enhance.
Not one Pentax camera was stolen. What I don't understand is how the camera store doesn't have security gates on the outside of the store for when they're not there. Now, maybe they're not allowed to have it for some reason in that center, but security gates would have made it much harder for people to break in. Who here thinks old school news reporting is really bad? It follows a simple formula. Let's show some B-roll of the outside of the store. Now let's show people working inside. Let's interview somebody who works there, and then we'll interview a patron who says, "I can't believe this happened in my own backyard." And then finally, the news reporter always sounds a little something like this. "This is Jennifer Crompton reporting live from Hunt's camera where brazen thieves," thieves spelled wrong by the way, thank you to Steven for pointing that out because I would have never noticed it, "thieves have broken into the store. And coming up next at 6, 2 babies were born. One had one arm, one had the other arm, and guess what? I hate my life." Hey, can somebody say my gear vault? Remember when Nikon made a big deal out of the size of their gaping holes
May I see it?
in the Nikon Z series cameras?
Thank you.
And said it would lead to faster aperture lenses like the 58f 0.95 Noct? Wow. Yet at launch, they didn't release any fast pro lenses. Hey, Steven, the Nikon PR guy is gonna hate me for that one. Maybe some of the girls too. Well, there's some good news. Actually, I don't know how good it is. It's actually just news. An Indian photographer by the name of Yusef Kathawala got his hands on a prototype mock-up and took some photos not with it, but of it to show you how big it actually is. Here we see the Noct, or Long Dong Silver as I like to call it, next to the Chody Hebrew Hammer, the 105 1.4. Long Dong Silver makes the Hebrew Hammer look like it just got out of a cold pool.
I was in the pool!
Now I did forget to remind you that this lens will only cost $6,000. Now, the reason that it is so expensive is because it has autofocus motors inside that are so big that it takes up so much. Oh, right. It actually doesn't have autofocus motors because it's a manual focusing lens only. This is one of the dumbest decisions Nikon has ever made. It ranks up there with one card slot in the new Z series cameras and no vertical grip coming from them either. Now, I bet the same person made all of those bad decisions and they should be fired.
No, it wasn't my fault.
On a more positive note, Nikon, can you send me one of those new lenses to test out, please? I won't call it Long Dong Silver anymore, or will I? And finally, what does Sony have up their sleeve in 2019? Well, I show you what I have up my sleeve, guns, for 2019. Sony Alpha Rumors is reporting that a couple of journalists told them that they got invited to a Sony event in mid-January. Hey Steven, I don't think that journalists are supposed to leak things on purpose to rumor sites, is that right? What might they be announcing at this event if there is actually an event going to happen? Now my guess would be a replacement to the A6500, being that that camera was originally released in October of 2016. Personally, I think they should kill off the APS-C lineup unless they can come out with a sub $1,000 camera that has 4K shooting with a newly designed body that is similar to the A7 lineup. I was never a fan of the design of the A6000 series cameras because the viewfinder was super small and the camera felt really dainty in my hands, unlike Long Dong Silver. Could they be releasing the long-awaited A7S III? Again, I don't think so, as I think that camera will be announced at NAB in April. Or will they simply announce new lenses and no new cameras, which would make a lot of people super happy? And by happy, I mean really upset, and then they're gonna leave negative comments and stuff. So this is what Sony has going for them. Their A7 III and A7R III may be older, but in some ways they're better than the new crop of mirrorless cameras from Nikon and Canon. The A9 currently has no competition, which means they probably shouldn't replace it anytime soon, even though it's a little over 18 months old, but it's still a kick-ass camera. But hey, this is all conjecture based off of what Sony Alpha Rumors is saying. If it's true, what camera would you like to see get announced in mid-January? And there you have it. That's your photo news fix this time around. To check out the last fix, go ahead and click on the screen right here. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.